The alarm clock rang at 5:30 in the morning. Maria opened her eyes and felt the heavy weight of tiredness in her whole body. She wanted to sleep more, but there was no time for that. Lucas would wake up soon, and he needed her help with everything. She got out of bed and walked to the small kitchen. The apartment was quiet and dark. Maria turned on the light and started making coffee. While the coffee was brewing, she looked at the papers on the kitchen table. Bills. So many bills. The rent was due in 5 days. The electricity bill was already late. And there were medical bills from Lucas's last doctor visit. She felt her chest get tight with worry. Maria was 32 years old, but some days she felt much older. Her black hair was starting to show gray streaks. Her hands were rough from working hard. Her back hurt most days, but she never complained. She had Lucas, and that was everything. At 6 o'clock, she went to Lucas's room. Her son was still sleeping. He looked peaceful in his bed. Lucas was 7 years old, small for his age. His body was thin and his legs were twisted from the cerebral palsy, but his face was beautiful, with dark eyes and a smile that made Maria forget all her problems. "Good morning, my love," Maria said softly. She touched his shoulder gently. Lucas opened his eyes and smiled at his mother. "Good morning, Mama," he said. His words came out slowly, but Maria understood every one. She helped him sit up in bed. This took time because Lucas could not move his body easily. His muscles were stiff in the morning. Maria had learned how to help him without hurting him. She moved his legs carefully, one at a time. Then she helped him move his arms. "Does anything hurt today?" Maria asked. "My back hurts a little," Lucas said. Maria nodded. She knew his back hurt most days. The doctor said it was normal for children with cerebral palsy. But knowing it was normal did not make it easier to see her child in pain. She carried Lucas to the bathroom and helped him wash his face and brush his teeth. Then she carried him to the living room and put him on the special mat on the floor. It was time for his morning exercises. The physical therapist had taught Maria which exercises to do with Lucas every day. These exercises helped keep his muscles from getting too tight. They did not cure his cerebral palsy, but they helped him feel better and move a little easier. Maria moved Lucas's legs up and down, bending them at the knee. She counted to 10 for each movement. Lucas tried to help, pushing against her hands with what little strength he had. After the leg exercises, they did arm exercises, then exercises for his back and neck. The whole routine took 40 minutes. "You did so good today," Maria told him when they finished. She kissed his forehead. "Can I draw after breakfast?" Lucas asked. "Of course," Maria said. "You can always draw." Drawing was Lucas's favorite thing in the world. Even though his hands did not work well, he could hold a crayon or a marker. His pictures were not perfect, but they were full of color and imagination. Dragons, castles, superheroes, and flowers covered every wall in their small apartment. Maria loved every single picture. She made breakfast while Lucas watched cartoons. Scrambled eggs and toast, orange juice, a banana cut into small pieces because Lucas could not bite big chunks. She fed him carefully, one small bite at a time. Lucas could feed himself sometimes, but in the morning his hands were too stiff. After breakfast, Maria got Lucas dressed for school. She picked out his favorite blue shirt with a rocket ship on it. Getting his arms through the sleeves was difficult. His body did not bend the way other children's bodies did. But Maria was patient. She had done this every morning for 5 years. Her hands knew exactly how to help him. At 7:30, the special bus came to pick up Lucas for school. The bus had a lift for his wheelchair. The driver, Mr. Johnson, was a kind man who always smiled and said good morning. Maria carried Lucas down the stairs and put him in his wheelchair. She buckled him in carefully. "Have a good day, my love," Maria said. She kissed him 3 times on the cheek. "I will draw you something beautiful today, Mama," Lucas promised. Maria watched the bus drive away. She stood on the sidewalk until she could not see it anymore. Then she went back inside to get ready for her own day. Maria worked at Green Valley Grocery Store. She was a cashier. She had worked there for 3 years. The pay was not good, but it was a job. She started at 9 in the morning and worked until 3 in the afternoon. This schedule let her be home when Lucas got back from school. She put on her green work shirt and black pants. She looked at herself in the mirror. She looked tired. She was tired, but there was no choice. Lucas needed food, medicine, therapy, and a home. All of that cost money. At work, Maria stood behind the cash register and scanned groceries. Beep, beep, beep. Bread, milk, eggs, cereal, apples, chicken. The same items over and over. Some customers were nice and said hello. Some customers were rude and complained about prices. Maria smiled at all of them and said, "Have a nice day." During her lunch break, she sat in the back room and ate the sandwich she had brought from home. Her feet hurt from standing. While she ate, she looked at her phone. She had missed a call from Lucas's doctor's office. She called them back. "Hello, this is Maria Rodriguez. I missed a call from you." The woman on the phone said, "Yes, Mrs. Rodriguez. We are calling about the payment for Lucas's last visit. The bill is 60 days past due. We need you to make a payment soon." Maria felt her stomach drop. "I know, I am trying. Can I pay something next week?" "We really need the full payment, Mrs. Rodriguez, but I can note that you will pay $50 next week. Is that possible?" Maria thought about the money in her bank account. After rent, there would be maybe $30 left. "Yes, I will pay $50 next week," she lied. When she hung up, she wanted to cry, but she did not. She finished her sandwich and went back to work. At 3 o'clock, Maria drove home. Lucas's bus arrived at 3:30. She had 30 minutes to clean the apartment a little and start dinner. But when she got home, there was a letter taped to her door. It was from her manager at work. Maria opened the letter with shaking hands. She read the words and felt the world spin. "Due to reduced store hours, we are cutting part-time employee schedules. Starting next month, your hours will be reduced from 30 hours per week to 20 hours per week." 20 hours. That meant less money. Much less money. Maria sat down on the floor in the hallway, still holding the letter. How would she pay rent with less money? How would she buy Lucas's medicine? How would she pay the electricity bill? She sat there until she heard Lucas's bus coming down the street. Then she stood up, wiped her eyes, and put a smile on her face. Lucas could never know how scared she was. That night, after Lucas went to sleep, Maria sat at the kitchen table with her laptop. She searched for jobs. She needed something that paid more. Something that would not take her away from Lucas during the day. She found an advertisement. Night cleaning crew needed for office building downtown. 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. $15 per hour. Maria stared at the screen. $15 per hour was much better than her grocery store pay. But working from 10 at night until 6 in the morning meant she would barely sleep. She would work at the grocery store during the day and clean offices at night. Could she do that? Could her body handle working almost all day and all night? She looked at the wall where Lucas's newest drawing hung. It showed a woman with a cape flying through the sky. Under the picture, Lucas had written in his shaky handwriting, "My mama is a superhero." Maria picked up her phone and called the number on the job advertisement. Maria got the cleaning job. She started the following Monday. Her new schedule was impossible, but she had no choice. She woke up at 5:30 to help Lucas get ready. She worked at the grocery store from 9 until 3. She came home to spend time with Lucas until 8 when he went to bed. Then at 9:30, she drove downtown to the big office building. The building was tall, with shiny glass windows that reflected the city lights. Maria parked her old car in the back lot and walked to the employee entrance. A woman named Gloria met her there. Gloria was the night shift supervisor. She was about 50 years old with gray hair pulled back in a tight bun. "You must be Maria," Gloria said. She did not smile. "Follow me." Gloria showed Maria where to clock in and where the cleaning supplies were kept. The supply room smelled like bleach and lemon cleaner. There were mops, brooms, vacuum cleaners, trash bags, and bottles of different cleaning products. "You will clean floors 3 through 7, Gloria said. "Empty all trash cans. Clean all bathrooms. Vacuum all carpets. Mop all hard floors. Wipe down desks if they are dirty. The offices need to be perfect by 6 in the morning before people come to work." Maria nodded. "I understand. The building has a tech company on floors 3 and 4. A law office on floor 5. Financial companies on floors 6 and 7. Sometimes people work late. Stay out of their way. Do not talk to them unless they talk to you first. Do not touch anything on their desks except trash." Gloria handed Maria a uniform shirt and a name tag. "Any questions?" "No," Maria said. But inside she was nervous. 5 floors seemed like a lot to clean in 8 hours. Gloria looked at her watch. "It is 10 o'clock. Get started." Maria put on her uniform shirt and clipped on her name tag. She loaded her cleaning cart with supplies and pushed it to the elevator. The wheels squeaked as she rolled it across the lobby floor. On the 3rd floor, the lights were dim. Most of the offices were dark and empty. Maria started with the trash cans. She went from desk to desk, emptying small trash bins into the big bag on her cart. People threw away so much: half-eaten sandwiches, full bags of chips, expensive coffee cups with coffee still in them. At home, Maria never wasted food. But here, people threw away more food than she and Lucas ate in a day. After the trash, she cleaned the bathrooms. She scrubbed toilets, sinks, and mirrors. She mopped the floors until they shined. Her back started to hurt after the first bathroom. There were 3 bathrooms on each floor. Then she vacuumed all the carpets. The vacuum cleaner was loud in the quiet building. Maria pushed it back and forth across the office floors, watching it pick up dirt and crumbs. Her arms got tired from pushing. Finally, she mopped the kitchen area and the hallways. By the time she finished floor 3, it was almost midnight. She still had 4 more floors to do. On floor 4, a young man was sitting at his desk working on his computer. The light from his screen made his face glow blue in the dark office. Maria quietly emptied the trash cans around him. She tried not to make noise. The man did not look up from his computer. Maria worked through floors 4, 5, and 6. Her feet hurt. Her back hurt. Her hands were red from the cleaning chemicals. She looked at her watch. 4 o'clock in the morning. She still had 1 floor left. On floor 7, she moved slower. She was so tired, her eyes wanted to close. She had been awake for almost 24 hours. She had only slept 4 hours the night before. Her body felt like it was moving through water. She finished cleaning at 5:45 in the morning. She took the elevator back down to the first floor and returned her cart to the supply room. Gloria was there checking a clipboard. You finished? Gloria asked. Yes, Maria said. Gloria looked surprised. On time. Good. See you tomorrow night. Maria drove home as the sun was coming up. The morning light hurt her eyes. She parked in front of her apartment building and looked at her phone. 5:55. Lucas's alarm would go off in 35 minutes. She went inside and lay down on her bed without taking off her clothes. She closed her eyes. It felt so good to close her eyes. But almost immediately, Lucas's alarm started ringing in the other room. Maria opened her eyes. She felt like she had not slept at all. Because she had not, she got up and went to wake Lucas. Good morning, my love, she said. Her voice sounded strange and far away. The days blurred together. Maria went through the motions like a robot. Wake Lucas, exercises, breakfast, bus, work at grocery store, home, time with Lucas, put Lucas to bed. Drive to office building. Clean for 8 hours. Drive home. Sleep for 30 minutes or an hour. Wake Lucas, start again. Her neighbor, Mrs. Chen, noticed something was wrong. Mrs. Chen was 70 years old. She lived in the apartment next door. She had always been kind to Maria and Lucas. One afternoon, Mrs. Chen knocked on Maria's door. Maria answered with Lucas in her arms. Maria, you look sick, Mrs. Chen said. Are you okay? I am fine, Maria lied. Just tired. Mrs. Chen looked at her with worried eyes. You are working too much. I can see it in your face. I have to work, Maria said. For Lucas. Mrs. Chen reached out and touched Maria's arm. Let me help you. I can watch Lucas at night while you work. You should not leave him alone. Maria felt tears come to her eyes. She had been leaving Lucas alone at night after he fell asleep. She checked on him during her break at midnight, driving home quickly and then rushing back to work. But she worried about him every minute she was gone. I cannot pay you, Maria said. I do not want money. Mrs. Chen said, I want to help. Lucas is a good boy. I love him like my own grandson. Let me sleep on your couch at night. I will be here if he wakes up. Maria wanted to say no. She did not like asking for help. But she was too tired to be proud. Thank you, she whispered. That night, Mrs. Chen came over at 8:30. She brought a blanket and a pillow. Go to work, she told Maria. Do not worry about Lucas, I am here. Having Mrs. Chen there helped. But Maria was still so tired. At work, she sometimes forgot which floor she was on. She would start cleaning a bathroom and then forget if she had already cleaned it or not. One night, she fell asleep while mopping. She woke up 20 minutes later, still holding the mop, her forehead resting against the handle. At the grocery store, her manager noticed her falling asleep at the register. Maria, are you okay? You look terrible. I am fine, Maria said. But she was not fine. She was breaking. 2 months passed. Maria lost weight because she was too tired to eat. Dark circles appeared under her eyes that would not go away no matter how much she slept. Her hands shook sometimes. Her back hurt all the time, but Lucas was happy. That was all that mattered. He went to school. He did his therapy. He drew his pictures. Maria hung every new picture on the wall. Dragons and flowers and cars and houses. So many colors, so much imagination. One day, Lucas drew a picture of the night sky with stars and a moon. Maria looked at it closely. In the picture, a woman was sleeping on a cloud. Who is that? Maria asked. That is you, Mama, Lucas said. You are sleeping in heaven where it is peaceful and quiet. Maria felt her heart hurt. Why am I in heaven? Lucas looked at her with his big brown eyes. Because you look so tired, Mama. I want you to rest. Maria hugged him tight and cried into his hair. I am okay, my love. I promise. But she was not okay. Her body was giving up. She started having headaches that would not go away. Her vision got blurry sometimes. She felt dizzy when she stood up too fast. At the office building, she kept Lucas's drawings on her cleaning cart. She looked at them while she worked. They made her feel less alone in the empty offices late at night. One night, the young man who always worked late on floor 4 was there again. Maria was emptying the trash near his desk. She tried to be quiet, but she was so tired that she knocked over a trash can. It made a loud noise. Sorry, Maria said quickly. The man looked up from his computer. He saw Maria's cart and he saw the drawing taped to the side of it. It was Lucas's newest picture of a big red dragon breathing blue fire. Did your kid draw that? The man asked. Maria nodded. Yes, my son Lucas. The man stood up and walked closer to look at the drawing. This is really good. How old is he? 7, Maria said. 7? Wow, he has talent. The man smiled. Tell him this dragon made my night better. I have been working on a problem for 6 hours and seeing this makes me happy. Maria felt tears come to her eyes again. She cried so easily now because she was so tired. Thank you, she said. That means a lot. The man went back to his desk. Maria finished emptying the trash and moved to the next floor. But something felt different in her chest. Something warm. A stranger had said something kind about her son. In this lonely building in the middle of the night, someone had noticed Lucas's art. The next night, there was a note taped to her cleaning cart. Maria found it when she came to work. The note said, For the artist who drew the dragon. This book might help him learn more. David taped to the note was a children's book about how to draw fantasy creatures. Maria held the book and cried in the elevator. She cried because a stranger named David had done something kind. She cried because she was so tired. She cried because she did not know how much longer she could keep doing this, but she wiped her tears and kept working. She cleaned floors 3 through 7. She scrubbed toilets and mopped floors. She emptied trash and vacuumed carpets. 3 months went by. Maria's life became a dark tunnel with no end. Every day was the same. Work, work, work. Sleep for 1 or 2 hours, wake up. Take care of Lucas, work again. Her body was breaking down, but she pushed through the pain. She stopped looking at herself in the mirror. She did not want to see how bad she looked. Her clothes hung loose on her body because she had lost so much weight. Her hair was falling out in the shower. Sometimes her hand shook so much that she dropped things. But something beautiful was happening too. More notes started appearing on her cleaning cart. After David left the art book, other people noticed Lucas's drawings. Maria had started taping new drawings to her cart every few days. She wanted something bright and colorful to look at while she worked. One morning she found a note that said, Your child's art makes these boring offices beautiful. Thank you for sharing it, Patricia. The next week there was a gift card to an art supply store for $25. The note said, For the young artist. Keep creating. Maria did not know who Patricia was, but she felt grateful. She used the gift card to buy Lucas nice markers and a big sketch pad. Lucas was so happy that he drew 5 pictures in one day. Another time, someone left a note that said, The butterfly drawing made me smile today. I needed that. These small kindnesses kept Maria going. In the lonely hours of the night when she was so tired she wanted to lie down on the floor and never get up, she would read the notes. Strangers cared about Lucas's art. Strangers saw her son's talent. This made everything feel a little less hard. Maria started leaving Lucas's best drawings in the offices on purpose. She would tape a new picture to a wall in the break room or leave one on a desk. In the morning, she would find the pictures moved to new places, hung up with care. Someone even put a drawing in a real picture frame. But Maria's body could not keep going like this forever. Her back pain got worse. She started taking pain pills just to get through her shifts. The pills helped a little, but not much. Every time she bent down to pick up trash or mop a floor, pain shot through her back like lightning. One night she was cleaning the bathroom on floor 5. She bent down to scrub the toilet and the pain was so bad that she gasped. She sat down on the bathroom floor and held her back. Tears ran down her face. She stayed there for 10 minutes, trying to breathe through the pain. When she finally stood up, she looked at her watch. She was behind schedule. She had to work faster. She could not lose this job. She needed the money. Maria worked faster, ignoring her back. She finished the bathrooms and moved on to the offices. While she was vacuuming, she felt dizzy. The room started spinning. She stopped and held onto a desk. The dizziness passed after a minute. She kept working. At the grocery store, things were getting worse too. Her manager had warned her twice about falling asleep at the register. She had gotten customer complaints because she was moving too slow and making mistakes. She rang up items wrong. She forgot to ask if people wanted bags. One time she gave someone the wrong change. "Maria, I need you to focus," her manager said. "I know you have a lot going on at home, but when you are here, you need to be here. Understand?" "Yes, I understand," Maria said. "I am sorry. One more mistake and I will have to let you go," the manager said. Maria felt panic rush through her body. She could not lose this job too. Even with the reduced hours, she needed the money from both jobs to survive. That night, she drank 3 cups of coffee before going to the office building. The coffee made her heart race, but it kept her awake. She cleaned all 5 floors, moving like a machine. Her body was tired, but the coffee pushed her forward. When she got home, Lucas was awake. It was 6:30 in the morning. Mrs. Chen was helping him eat breakfast. "Mama," Lucas said when he saw her. His face was happy. "Look what I drew for you." He held up a picture of a woman with stars around her head. The woman was smiling. "It is beautiful," Maria said. She kissed the top of his head. "You are such a good artist." "The man at my school said I should enter the art contest," Lucas said. "Can I, Mama, please?" "What art contest?" Maria asked Mrs. Chen. "The school sent home a paper yesterday," Mrs. Chen said. "There is a city art contest for children with disabilities. Lucas wants to enter." Maria's heart sank. "Is there a fee to enter?" Mrs. Chen nodded. $25? $25? Maria did not have $25. After paying rent and bills, she had almost nothing left. But she looked at Lucas's hopeful face and knew she could not say no. "Of course you can enter," Maria said. "We will find the money." Lucas cheered and hugged her. Maria held him tight and wondered where she would get $25. That week, Maria did not eat lunch at work. She saved the money she would have spent on food. She also returned some of Lucas's old clothes to a store for credit. It was still not enough. She needed $5 more. On Thursday night at the office building, Maria was cleaning floor 4. David was there again, working late at his computer. Maria was emptying the trash near his desk when her stomach growled loudly. She had not eaten anything since breakfast. David looked up. "Are you okay?" "Yes, I am fine," Maria said quickly. She felt embarrassed. David watched her work for a moment. "I see your son's drawings every night. They are really good. Does he want to be an artist when he grows up?" Maria smiled. "Yes, he loves to draw more than anything." "That is awesome," David said. "The world needs more artists." He reached into his wallet and pulled out a $5 bill. "Hey, can I buy one of his drawings?" "I want to put one in my apartment." Maria stared at the money. $5. Exactly what she needed. "You do not have to do that," she said. "I want to," David said. "Really, which drawing can I have?" Maria showed him the pictures on her cart. David picked one of a green dragon flying over mountains. "This one is perfect." He gave Maria the $5. She took it with shaking hands. "Thank you so much." "Thank you," David said. "Tell your son he just made his first art sale." When Maria got home that morning, she had $25. She entered Lucas in the art contest. Lucas worked on his contest drawing for a whole week. He drew a picture of his mother with angel wings holding a mop and a smile. He called it "My Hero Mama." The kindness from the office workers continued. More notes appeared. Someone left a box of fancy-colored pencils. Another person left a note that said, "I showed your son's dragon drawing to my daughter. She loved it. You are raising a talented boy." Maria taped all the notes to her bathroom mirror at home. When she felt like giving up, she read them. These strangers did not know her, but they cared. They saw Lucas's talent. They saw her struggle even though she tried to hide it. One night, Maria was cleaning the conference room on floor 6 when she found an envelope on her cart. Inside was $50 in cash and a note. For the artist and his mother. You both inspire us. The people on floor 6, Maria sat down in a chair and cried. She cried hard, her whole body shaking. $50. These people had given her $50. She could buy Lucas the medicine he needed. She could pay part of the electricity bill, but more than the money, it was the kindness that broke her. These busy people with their important jobs had noticed her. They had noticed Lucas. In a world that often ignored people like them, these strangers had seen them. Maria kept working, kept pushing through the exhaustion, but her body was at its limit. The pain in her back got worse every day. She started taking more pain pills. Sometimes she took too many, just to get through her shift. The coffee she drank to stay awake made her jittery and anxious. Her hands shook all the time now. Her heart raced even when she was sitting still. She had headaches that felt like her skull was cracking open. Mrs. Chen grew more worried every day. Maria, you are going to make yourself sick, she said. You need to rest. I cannot rest, Maria said. I have to work. Let me help you more, Mrs. Chen begged. I can cook dinner for Lucas. I can do his laundry. Please let me help. Maria's pride wanted to say no, but she was drowning. She could not do everything alone anymore. Okay, she whispered. Thank you. Mrs. Chen started coming over every afternoon. She cooked dinner for Lucas. She helped him with his homework. She played games with him and read him stories. This gave Maria time to sleep for an hour before going to work at night, but 1 hour of sleep was not enough. Maria needed real rest. She needed a full night of sleep. She needed to stop working 2 jobs. But she could not stop. If she stopped, they would lose everything. Lucas's art contest entry was accepted. He was one of 50 children chosen to display their work at the City Art Gallery. Maria took a day off from the grocery store to take him to the gallery. It was the first day she had taken off in 4 months. At the gallery, Lucas's drawing hung on the wall with all the other children's art. Maria stood in front of it and cried. Her son's art was in a real gallery. People walked by and stopped to look at it. They smiled. They took pictures. Mama, why are you crying? Lucas asked. Because I am so proud of you, Maria said. You are amazing, my love. Lucas hugged her as tight as he could with his weak arms. You are amazing too, Mama. You work so hard for me. Maria held him and wished she could freeze this moment forever. Her son was happy. His art was on a wall. For one afternoon, everything felt okay. But that night, reality returned. Maria went back to work at the office building. When Maria opened her eyes, she did not know where she was. Bright lights hurt her eyes. She heard beeping sounds. Everything smelled like medicine and cleaning supplies. She tried to sit up, but her body felt too heavy. Hey, take it easy, a voice said. You are in the hospital. Maria turned her head. A man was sitting in a chair next to her bed. It took her a moment to recognize him. It was David, the young man from floor 4 who had bought Lucas's drawing. What happened? Maria asked. Her throat was dry, and her voice came out rough. I found you passed out on the floor at work, David said. It was around 2 in the morning. I called 911. Maria felt panic rush through her body. What time is it now? I need to go home. Lucas needs me. She tried to get out of bed, but David gently stopped her. It is okay. Your neighbor, Mrs. Chen, is with Lucas. I called her. She said to tell you not to worry. How did you know about Mrs. Chen? Maria asked. Your phone, David said. I looked through your contacts to find someone who could help with your son. Mrs. Chen answered right away. She was already at your apartment. Maria lay back down. Her head hurt. Her whole body hurt. Thank you, she whispered. A doctor came into the room. She was a woman with kind eyes and gray hair pulled back in a ponytail. Good morning, Mrs. Rodriguez. I am Dr. Palmer. How are you feeling? Tired, Maria said. Dr. Palmer looked at a clipboard. I am not surprised. When you came in, you were severely dehydrated and malnourished. Your blood pressure was dangerously low. When was the last time you ate a real meal? Maria tried to think. I had breakfast yesterday morning with my son. That was over 24 hours ago. Dr. Palmer said. Mrs. Rodriguez, your body shut down because you are not taking care of it. When was the last time you slept a full night? Maria did not answer. She could not remember the last time she slept a full night. Maybe 4 months ago, before she started the cleaning job. Dr. Palmer sat down on the edge of the bed. Mr. Reyes here told me about your situation. 2 jobs, a child with special needs, working almost 20 hours a day, is that correct? I have to work, Maria said. My son needs me. Your son needs you alive, Dr. Palmer said firmly. If you keep going like this, you will end up back in this hospital, or worse. Your body cannot survive on 2 hours of sleep and 1 meal a day. Do you understand? Maria felt tears run down her face. I do not have a choice. If I do not work, we will lose our home. My son needs his therapy. He needs his medicine. He needs food. I'm all he has. Dr. Palmer's face softened. I understand, but there are other options. There is help available for families in your situation. Have you applied for disability benefits for your son? I tried, Maria said. The paperwork was too confusing. I did not understand it. There are people who can help you with that, Dr. Palmer said. Social workers, community organizations, legal aid. You do not have to do this alone. David spoke up. I want to help. And I know other people at the office building who want to help too. We have been talking about it. Maria looked at him. What do you mean? We all see your son's drawings, David said. We read the notes you leave. We know you are struggling. A few of us have been leaving things on your cart, remember? The art books, the gift cards, the notes. We want to do more. I cannot take charity, Maria said. I need to take care of my son myself. It is not charity, David said. It is community. People helping people. That is what humans are supposed to do. Dr. Palmer nodded. He is right. Accepting help is not weakness, it is wisdom. Let people help you, Mrs. Rodriguez. The doctor left to check on other patients. David stayed in the chair next to Maria's bed. I called my girlfriend Patricia, he said. She is a lawyer. She helps people with disability claims and benefits. She wants to help you for free. Why? Maria asked. Why do you want to help me? You do not even know me. David was quiet for a moment. My little sister has Down syndrome. Growing up, I watched my parents struggle just like you are struggling. They worked so hard, they were so tired all the time. I wish people had helped them more. So when I see you, I see my parents. And I want to help. Maria cried. She could not stop crying. All the exhaustion, all the pain, all the fear came pouring out. David handed her tissues and did not say anything. He just let her cry. The hospital kept Maria for 2 days. They gave her fluids through an IV. They made her eat 3 meals a day. They made her sleep. It felt strange to sleep during the day. At first, Maria could not relax. She kept thinking about Lucas, but Mrs. Chen sent her pictures on her phone. Lucas was fine. He was drawing. He was smiling. He was okay. On the 2nd day, Patricia came to visit. She was a tall woman with red hair and a professional suit. She carried a briefcase full of papers. Hi, Maria, Patricia said. I am Patricia Reyes, David's girlfriend. I am an attorney, and I want to help you. David said, you work for free? Maria asked. Pro bono, Patricia said. That means for the public good. I do not charge you anything. I help people who need legal assistance but cannot afford a lawyer. She sat down and opened her briefcase. I have been looking into your situation. Your son Lucas qualifies for several programs that you are not receiving. Disability benefits, medical assistance, therapy subsidies. With these benefits, you could cut your work hours significantly. But I applied for benefits, Maria said. They said no. They denied you because the paperwork was not filled out correctly, Patricia said. It happens all the time. These forms are complicated on purpose, but I know how to fill them out. With your permission, I will reapply for you. Maria felt hope for the first time in months. Really? You can do that? Yes, Patricia said. I have helped dozens of families like yours. We will get you the help you need. Over the next hour, Patricia explained all the programs available: food assistance, medical coverage for Lucas, reduced rent through housing assistance, free therapy services through the state. Maria had not known any of this existed. She had been trying to do everything alone, and the whole time there was help available. "Why did no one tell me about these programs?" Maria asked. "Because the system is broken," Patricia said. "They do not make it easy to find help. You have to know where to look. But that is what I do. I know where to look." When Maria was released from the hospital, David drove her home. Mrs. Chen was waiting with Lucas. When Lucas saw his mother, he cried with relief. "Mama, you are home." He could not hug her because of his wheelchair, but Maria bent down and held him tight. "I am home, my love," she said. "I am so sorry I scared you." "Mrs. Chen said you were sick," Lucas said. "Are you better now?" "Yes, I am better," Maria said. It was partly true. Her body felt a little better after 2 days of rest and food. But she was still exhausted in a deep way that 2 days could not fix. That evening, David and Patricia came over to the apartment. They brought food, pasta, and salad and bread. They sat around the small table with Maria, Lucas, and Mrs. Chen. It felt strange to have guests. Maria could not remember the last time she had people over. While they ate, Patricia showed Maria all the paperwork she had prepared. "I need you to sign these forms. Then I will file them with the state. It will take a few weeks to process, but I am confident they will approve you this time." Maria signed the papers with shaking hands. She was signing away her pride, admitting that she could not do this alone. But Dr. Palmer was right. It was not weakness. It was wisdom. David had something else to share. "I talked to some people at the office building. We want to do something for you and Lucas." "You have already done so much," Maria said. "Just listen," David said. "We set up a fundraising page online. We told your story and shared some of Lucas's artwork. People have been donating." He showed Maria his phone. On the screen was a picture of Lucas's dragon drawing and a paragraph explaining Maria's situation. Below that were names of people who had donated money: $5, $10, $20. Some people donated more. The total amount was over $3,000. Maria stared at the screen. $3,000? "And it is still going up," David said. "People want to help. Your story touched them." Maria put her face in her hands and sobbed. Mrs. Chen rubbed her back. Patricia handed her more tissues. Lucas looked worried. "Mama, why are you crying?" Lucas asked. "Because people are being so kind," Maria said through her tears. "Because we are not alone." The money from the fundraiser covered 3 months of rent. It paid the medical bills from Maria's hospital visit. It bought Lucas new leg braces that he needed for his therapy. There was even money left over for groceries and utilities. But more important than the money was the support. People from the office building reached out to Maria. They sent emails and left notes on her cleaning cart. They told her their own stories of struggle. They offered help in different ways. One woman offered free tutoring for Lucas. Another man said his wife was a physical therapist and could provide free home visits. The office building management heard about Maria's situation. Gloria, the night supervisor, called Maria into the office. "We heard you were in the hospital," Gloria said. Her face was serious, and Maria worried she was going to be fired. "Yes," Maria said. "But I am okay now. I can work." "We are changing your schedule," Gloria said. "Instead of 5 nights a week, you will work 3 nights, same pay." Maria could not believe what she was hearing. "The same pay for fewer hours?" "Yes," Gloria said. "And we are adding you to the company health insurance. You and your son will both be covered." "Why?" Maria asked. "Why are you doing this?" Gloria's expression softened just a little. "Because it is the right thing to do. You are a good worker, Maria. You show up. You do your job well. You do not complain. We want to keep you. But we do not want you to die doing it." Maria left the office in a daze. 3 nights instead of 5. Health insurance, same pay. It felt like a miracle. At the grocery store, her manager called her into his office. Maria was afraid she was being fired for all her mistakes. But instead, the manager said, I heard about your situation. I want to offer you a different position. Full-time during the day with benefits. It pays more than your cashier position. Really? Maria asked. Yes, the manager said. You have been a loyal employee for 3 years. I should have helped you sooner. I am sorry I did not. Everything was changing so fast. Maria felt like she was dreaming. For months she had been drowning, and suddenly people were throwing her life preservers from every direction. That night, Maria sat with Lucas while he drew. He was working on a new picture, one of the sun rising over mountains. What are you drawing? Maria asked. A new day, Lucas said. Mrs. Chen said that when bad times end, it is like a new day starting. Maria kissed the top of his head. Mrs. Chen is very wise. Mama, Lucas said. Are you going to be okay now? Yes, my love, Maria said. I think I am going to be okay. 3 weeks after Maria got out of the hospital, the first benefit approval letter arrived in the mail. Maria opened it with shaking hands while Lucas was at school. She read the words 3 times to make sure she understood correctly. Lucas had been approved for disability benefits. Every month they would receive $600 to help with his care. $600 that would pay for his therapy, his medicine, his special equipment. Maria sat down at the kitchen table and cried tears of relief. The next week another letter came. They were approved for medical assistance. Lucas's doctor visits and therapy sessions would now be covered. No more medical bills piling up on the counter. No more choosing between medicine and groceries. Patricia called to congratulate her. I told you we would get you approved, she said. There are 2 more applications still pending. Food assistance and housing subsidy. Those should come through in the next few weeks. I do not know how to thank you, Maria said. You changed our lives. You do not have to thank me, Patricia said. Just promise me you will take care of yourself. Your son needs you healthy and alive. I promise, Maria said. With her new work schedule, Maria's life became manageable for the first time in months. She worked at the grocery store during the day, 5 days a week, full-time with benefits. She cleaned offices 3 nights a week instead of 5. She actually had time to sleep now. Real sleep, 6 or 7 hours a night. Her body slowly started to heal. The pain in her back got better. The headaches went away. She gained back some of the weight she had lost. The dark circles under her eyes faded. She looked at herself in the mirror one morning and barely recognized the woman staring back. She looked like herself again, not like a ghost. Maria had more time to spend with Lucas. On her days off, they went to the park. Maria pushed Lucas in his wheelchair along the paths, and they watched the ducks in the pond. Lucas drew pictures of the ducks, giving them funny names and silly stories. They went to the library and checked out books. Lucas loved stories about dragons and knights. Maria read to him every night before bed, doing different voices for the characters. Lucas laughed and clapped his hands. The fundraiser money that David and the office workers had raised paid for 3 months of expenses, but Maria was careful with it. She put some aside for emergencies. She used some to buy Lucas things he needed for school. She even bought herself new shoes because her old ones had holes in the bottom. But the most amazing thing was not the money. It was the community that formed around them. David and Patricia became real friends. They came over for dinner once a week. Patricia taught Maria how to cook new recipes. David played games with Lucas and taught him about computers. Mrs. Chen continued to be their guardian angel. She was at the apartment every day, helping with whatever was needed. She and Lucas had a special bond. He called her Grandma Chen, and she called him my sweet boy. The people from the office building sent cards and letters. Some of them asked if they could buy Lucas's artwork. Maria was surprised. You want to pay money for his drawings? Yes, David said. His art is good. People like it. You should sell it. Maria was nervous about this idea, but he is just a child. His art is not professional. Art does not have to be professional to be valuable, Patricia said. If people want to buy it, let them. You can save the money for Lucas's future. So Maria started selling Lucas's drawings. She made copies of his best work and sold them for $10 each. David helped her set up a small online page where people could see Lucas's art and order prints. Word spread quickly. People from the office building bought drawings. Their friends bought drawings. Strangers on the internet saw Lucas's work and wanted to buy it. Within a month, Lucas had sold over 50 drawings. Maria put all the money in a special savings account for him, $500. then 700, then 1,000. It was more money than Maria had ever been able to save. Lucas was so proud. "Mama, people like my art." "Yes, they do," Maria said. "Because you are talented and special." One day, a woman named Susan contacted Maria through the online page. Susan ran a local art gallery that focused on outsider art and work by artists with disabilities. She wanted to feature Lucas's work in a group show. "A real art show?" Maria asked. "In a gallery?" "Yes," Susan said. "We would display 10 of his pieces for 3 weeks. If any sell, he would get 70% of the sale price, and the gallery keeps 30%. It is a great opportunity." Maria asked Lucas if he wanted to do it. His eyes got big and he nodded so hard Maria was afraid he would hurt his neck. Yes, he said. They picked out 10 of Lucas's best drawings: dragons, flowers, superheroes, animals, and one special picture of Maria with angel wings. Susan framed all of them professionally and hung them in the gallery with a small sign that said, "Lucas Rodriguez, age 7. The opening night of the show was on a Friday evening. Maria took the night off work. She dressed Lucas in his nicest clothes and herself in a dress that Patricia had helped her pick out. David and Patricia drove them to the gallery. Mrs. Chen came too, along with a few people from the office building. When they walked into the gallery, Maria gasped. Lucas's drawings looked so beautiful in their frames, hanging on the white walls with special lights shining on them. Other people were walking around looking at the art, drinking wine from small plastic cups. Lucas could not stop smiling. "Mama, my art is in a real gallery." "Yes, it is, my love," Maria said. Her voice was thick with emotion. A woman walked up to them. She was looking at the picture of Maria with angel wings. "Did you draw this?" she asked Lucas. Lucas nodded shyly. "It is beautiful," the woman said. "This is your mother?" "Yes," Lucas said. "She works very hard for me. She is my hero." The woman smiled at Maria. "You have a wonderful son, and he has a wonderful mother." She pointed to the small red dot on the sign next to the picture. "I just bought this piece. I hope you do not mind." Maria felt tears come to her eyes. "You bought it?" "Yes," the woman said. "For $200. It will hang in my living room, and every time I look at it, I will remember that love is the most powerful force in the world." The woman walked away. Lucas tugged on Maria's sleeve. "Mama, someone bought my art for $200. Maria could barely speak. Yes, they did. By the end of the night, 6 of Lucas's 10 pieces had sold. Over $1,000. Susan said the remaining 4 would probably sell during the 3-week show. She wanted to feature Lucas's work in future shows too. David took pictures of Lucas next to his artwork. Patricia posted them on the fundraising page to show everyone how well Lucas was doing. The comments flooded in. People from all over were proud of Lucas and happy for their family. On the drive home, Lucas fell asleep in his car seat with a smile on his face. Maria looked at him and felt her heart so full it might burst. Her son was happy. He was creating. He was being celebrated for his talent. A few weeks later, the housing subsidy approval came through. Maria's rent would be reduced by $300 per month. Combined with Lucas's disability benefits and her improved work schedule, they were finally financially stable. They were not rich, but they were okay. They had enough. Maria started attending a support group for parents of children with disabilities. Patricia had told her about it. Every Tuesday evening, a group of parents met at the community center to share their experiences and support each other. At first, Maria was nervous to go. She did not like talking about her problems, but when she walked into the room and saw other parents who understood her struggle, she felt instant relief. "My daughter has autism," one woman said. "I know how hard it is." "My son has muscular dystrophy," another parent said. "Some days I do not think I can keep going, but then I look at him and find the strength." Maria shared her story. She told them about working 2 jobs, about collapsing from exhaustion, about the community that saved her. As she talked, other parents nodded and some cried. They understood. They had been through similar struggles. After the meeting, several parents came up to Maria. They asked for Patricia's contact information for legal help. They asked about the office workers who had raised money. They wanted to know how Maria had found such support. "I did not find them," Maria said. "They found me, and now I want to help others find that same support." Maria started volunteering at the community center one Saturday morning a month. She helped other parents fill out benefit applications. She shared information about resources. She told her story to give other people hope. Lucas came with her and drew pictures for the other children. The kids loved seeing another child who used a wheelchair and leg braces, who struggled with daily tasks but who was still happy and creative. Life was not perfect. Maria still worked hard. There were still difficult days. Lucas still had pain and limitations from his cerebral palsy. They still struggled sometimes, but the darkness had lifted. They were not drowning anymore. One evening, Maria was cleaning the office building, working her 3-night-a-week shift. She was on floor 4, and David was there working late as usual. They had become good friends over the past few months. "How is Lucas doing?" David asked. "He's good," Maria said. "He is working on a new series of drawings about space. Planets and stars and rockets." "That kid has such an imagination," David said. "I am glad you both are doing better." "Thank you for everything you did for us," Maria said. "You and Patricia. You saved our lives," David shook his head. "You saved your own life. You worked hard. You never gave up. You did everything for your son. We just helped open some doors. You walked through them." Maria thought about this while she finished cleaning. David was right. She had worked hard. She had survived. She had kept going even when everything was falling apart. She had been strong for Lucas. And when people offered help, she had been brave enough to accept it. When her shift ended at 2 a.m, Maria drove home through the quiet city streets. She thought about how different her life was now compared to 6 months ago. 6 months ago, she was dying slowly from exhaustion and stress. Now she was living. Really living, not just surviving. She got home and quietly checked on Lucas. He was sleeping peacefully, his face relaxed and calm. On the wall above his bed hung a new drawing he had made that day. It showed 2 people holding hands under a rainbow, one big person and one small person. "Me and Mama," he had written at the bottom. Maria kissed his forehead softly and went to her own room. She got into bed and closed her eyes. In 6 hours, she would wake up naturally without an alarm and have time to make a good breakfast. She would help Lucas get ready for school without rushing. She would go to work at the grocery store where she now had a better position and respect from her manager. Tonight, she did not have to work at the office building. Tonight, she would come home and have dinner with Lucas and Mrs. Chen. Maybe Patricia and David would stop by. As Maria drifted off to sleep, she thought about the woman who had bought Lucas's angel wing drawing. The woman had said that love is the most powerful force in the world. Maria believed that now. Love had kept her going when her body wanted to quit. Love had given her strength to work impossible hours. Love had opened her heart to accept help from kind strangers. And love had built a community around her and Lucas, a safety net of people who cared. She was not alone anymore. Neither was Lucas. They had each other, and they had a whole community of people who wanted them to succeed. Tomorrow was a new day, and for the first time in a very long time, Maria was not afraid of what it would bring. 6 months had passed since Maria collapsed at work. It was a Saturday morning in early spring, and Maria woke up without an alarm clock. The sun was shining through her bedroom window, making patterns on the wall. She stretched and felt good. Her body did not hurt. She was not exhausted. She had slept for 7 full hours. Maria got out of bed and walked to the kitchen. She made coffee and sat at the table, looking out the window at the trees starting to bloom. It was quiet and peaceful. She had time to just sit and drink her coffee. 6 months ago, she would have been running around in a panic trying to do everything at once. Now she had time to breathe. At 7:30, she heard Lucas calling from his room. "Mama!" "Good morning, my love," Maria said as she walked to his room. "How did you sleep?" "Good," Lucas said. He was sitting up in bed, smiling. "Can we go to the park today?" "Yes, we can go to the park," Maria said. "After breakfast and your exercises." She helped Lucas with his morning routine. It was easier now because she was not rushing. She could be patient and gentle. They did his physical therapy exercises together, Maria counting out loud while Lucas pushed and pulled with his muscles. He was getting stronger. The new therapist who came to their home twice a week had said so. While Lucas ate breakfast, Maria looked at her phone. There was a message from Susan at the art gallery. "Good news. 2 more of Lucas's pieces sold this week, and I have a gallery owner from Chicago who wants to talk to you about featuring Lucas in a show there. Call me when you can." Maria read the message twice. Chicago? Someone in Chicago wanted to show Lucas's art? She could hardly believe it. Lucas, Susan says 2 more of your drawings sold, Maria told him. Lucas smiled big. Really? Which ones? She did not say, but she wants me to call her. Someone from Chicago wants to show your art in their gallery. Chicago, Lucas said. That is far away, right? Very far, Maria said. Your art is going to travel all over. After breakfast, Maria called Susan. The gallery owner in Chicago had seen Lucas's work online and was very interested. He specialized in outsider art and work by self-taught artists. He wanted to feature Lucas in a group show this summer, along with 3 other young artists with disabilities. This is a big opportunity, Susan said. The Chicago gallery gets a lot of attention. Critics write about their shows. Important collectors go there. This could really help Lucas get noticed. Maria felt nervous and excited at the same time. What do we need to do? Just keep creating, Susan said. I will handle all the details. You and Lucas might need to go to Chicago for the opening if you can. The gallery will pay for travel. When Maria told Lucas about Chicago, he was so excited he could barely sit still in his wheelchair. I am going to Chicago. I'm going to draw so many new pictures. That afternoon, they went to the park like Maria had promised. It was a beautiful day, warm with a cool breeze. Maria pushed Lucas's wheelchair along the path around the pond. Other families were there too, flying kites and having picnics. David and Patricia met them at the park. They brought a blanket and a basket of food for lunch. The 4 of them sat under a big tree eating sandwiches and watching the clouds. I have news, Patricia said. I got a promotion at work. I am now the head of the pro bono department. That means I can help even more families like yours, Maria. That is wonderful, Maria said. You deserve it. You work so hard. Speaking of work, David said, my company is looking for someone to clean the office during business hours instead of at night. It would be part-time, flexible hours, and pays even better than the night shift. I told them about you. Maria was surprised. Really, during the day? Yeah, David said. You could work mornings a few days a week and still have your grocery store job. No more working at night. I thought you might be interested. Maria thought about it. Working during the day at the office building would be better than working at night. She would see people. She would not be so lonely. And it paid better. Yes, I am very interested. I will set up an interview for you, David said. Lucas was drawing in his sketchbook while the adults talked. He was working on a picture of the tree they were sitting under. Maria watched him, his small hands gripping the crayon, his tongue sticking out a little bit as he concentrated. He was so focused and happy. Mama, look, Lucas said, holding up his drawing. It is our tree. It is beautiful, Maria said. You captured it perfectly. A little girl about Lucas's age walked over, curious. What are you drawing? She asked. Lucas showed her his picture. This tree. I like it, the girl said. Can you draw me something? Lucas looked at Maria, asking permission with his eyes. Maria nodded. Of course you can. Lucas drew a quick picture of a butterfly for the little girl. She squealed with delight and ran to show her parents. A few minutes later, her mother came over. My daughter says your son drew this for her, the woman said. It is lovely. Is he taking art classes? No, Maria said. He just loves to draw. He is very talented, the woman said. She paused. I am sorry if this is too forward, but does he sell his work? I would love to buy some pieces for my daughter's room. Maria gave the woman a card with information about Lucas's online page where his art was sold. The woman took the card and thanked her. As she walked away, Maria felt a surge of pride. Strangers approached them now because of Lucas's talent, not because of his disability. People saw his art first, his ability before his disability. The next week, Maria had her interview at the office building. The manager who interviewed her was impressed with her work history and David's recommendation. She got the job. Starting next month, she would clean the office 3 mornings a week from 8 a.m. until noon. Combined with her full-time grocery store job and the money from Lucas's art sales, they would be more than comfortable financially. Maria gave her notice for the night cleaning shift. On her last night working from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., several office workers who had gotten to know her over the months came by to say goodbye. They brought her cards and gifts. One person brought flowers. Another brought a gift card to a restaurant. You are always so kind and hardworking, one woman said. We are going to miss seeing you at night. I will still be here, Maria said. Just in the mornings now. Good. the woman said. We will still get to see Lucas's drawings on your cart. That last night shift felt different. Maria was not sad to leave it behind, but she felt grateful for what it had given her. The money from that job had kept them afloat when they were drowning. The people in that building had become her friends and had changed her life. Sometimes the hardest times lead to the best things. In May, Maria and Lucas flew to Chicago for the art show opening. It was Lucas's first time on a plane. He was nervous at first, but once they took off and he could see the clouds out the window, he was amazed. "Mama, we are flying," he said. "We are in the sky." The gallery in Chicago was bigger and fancier than the local gallery. Lucas's art hung on the walls alongside work by 3 other young artists. There were journalists there, taking pictures and asking questions. Lucas sat in his wheelchair wearing a small suit that Patricia had bought him for the occasion, answering questions about his art. "Where do you get your ideas?" one journalist asked. "From my imagination," Lucas said. "I think about things that make me happy and then I draw them." "What makes you happy?" another journalist asked. Lucas pointed at Maria. "My mama. She makes me happy every day." Maria had to turn away so no one would see her crying. Patricia put a hand on her shoulder. "He loves you so much." "I love him more than anything," Maria whispered. By the end of the night, all of Lucas's pieces in the show had sold. One drawing sold for $500. Another sold for $700. Maria could not believe these amounts. The gallery owner said there was already interest from collectors for Lucas's future work. On the flight home, Lucas fell asleep with his head on Maria's shoulder. She looked down at him and thought about how far they had come. 2 years ago, Lucas's father had left them because he could not handle having a child with disabilities. He had said Lucas would never amount to anything, that caring for him would be a burden for the rest of Maria's life. He had been so wrong. Lucas was amazing. He had talent and creativity and a beautiful spirit. He brought joy to everyone who met him. Caring for him was not a burden. It was a privilege. And yes, it was hard sometimes. There were difficult days, but there were also days like this, flying home from Chicago, where her 7-year-old son had just sold his artwork to collectors. When they got home, Mrs. Chen was waiting at the apartment with dinner ready. "Tell me everything," she said. They told her about the plane ride, the gallery, the journalists, the sales. Mrs. Chen clapped her hands together. "I am so proud of both of you." The next Saturday, Maria started her volunteer work at the community center again. She had not been able to go for the past month because of preparing for the Chicago trip. When she walked in, several parents greeted her with hugs. "Maria, we missed you," one mother said. "Can you help me with my son's benefit application? I have been trying for months and keep getting rejected." Maria sat down with the woman and looked at her paperwork. She saw several mistakes right away, things she had learned from her own experience and from Patricia. "Here, let me show you. This section needs to be filled out differently." They worked together for an hour, fixing the application. By the end, the woman had tears in her eyes. "Thank you so much. I have been so lost. I know exactly how you feel," Maria said. "I was there too. But there is help available. You just have to know where to look and who to ask." Maria helped 3 more families that day with various problems: finding therapy services, understanding medical bills, navigating the school system for special education. She knew all of this now because she had been through it. Her struggle had taught her things that she could now teach others. On her way out of the community center, the director stopped her. "Maria, can I talk to you for a moment?" "Of course," Maria said. The director led her to an office. "We have been watching the work you do with our families. You have a gift for helping people. I want to offer you a job." Maria was shocked. "A job?" "Yes, we need a family advocate, someone who helps families navigate social services and benefits. It would be part-time, 20 hours a week with decent pay and benefits. You would be perfect for this position." Maria did not know what to say. A job helping families like hers? Using her own experience to make other people's lives easier? "I would love that," she said. "But I already have 2 jobs. Think about it," the director said. "The position will not be filled for another month. We can work around your schedule." Maria drove home in a daze. She thought about the job offer all evening. That night, after Lucas was asleep, she sat at the kitchen table with a notebook. She wrote down all her current jobs and income: the grocery store full-time job, the office cleaning 3 mornings a week, Lucas's art sales, his disability benefits. If she took the community center job, she could quit the grocery store and the cleaning job. She would work only 20 hours a week helping families and make almost as much money. She would have time, real time. Time to take Lucas to the park. Time to go to his school events. Time to rest when she needed to rest. Maria called Patricia the next day to ask her opinion. Patricia said, "Take the job. This is what you are meant to do. You have been through the struggle and now you can help others get through it. That is meaningful work." 2 weeks later, Maria gave her notice at the grocery store and the office building. Her manager at the grocery store was disappointed but understanding. "You have been a great employee," he said. "If you ever need a job again, you always have a place here." The office workers threw her a goodbye party during the day shift. They brought cake and balloons. They had made a banner that said, "Thank you, Maria." David gave a speech about how Maria had taught them all about strength and perseverance. Several people cried, including Maria. "You all saved my life," Maria told them. "I will never forget what you did for me and Lucas." Maria started her new job at the community center in June. On her first day, she helped a single father apply for benefits for his autistic daughter. On her second day, she connected a mother with free therapy services for her son with Down syndrome. Every day she helped someone, and every day she went home feeling like she had made a difference. Lucas continued to create art. His bedroom walls were covered with new drawings. Spaceships and aliens, flowers and butterflies, superheroes and dragons. Every picture was full of color and imagination. He was preparing pieces for another show in the fall, this time in a gallery in New York. One evening in late summer, Maria and Lucas sat on their small balcony, watching the sunset. Lucas was drawing the sky, trying to capture the orange and pink colors. Maria was reading a book, something she had not had time to do in years. "Mama," Lucas said without looking up from his drawing, "are you happy?" Maria put down her book and looked at her son. "Yes, my love. I am very happy." "Are you happy?" "Yes," Lucas said. He looked up at her and smiled. "I like our life now." "Me too," Maria said. She thought about where they had been a year ago. She thought about the darkness and the exhaustion and the fear. She thought about collapsing on that office floor, sure that she was going to lose everything. But she had not lost everything. She had found everything. She had found community and support. She had found her own strength. She had learned to ask for help and accept kindness. She had learned that struggling alone is not noble. It is just hard. And she had learned that there are good people in the world who want to help, if you let them. Maria reached over and took Lucas's hand. His fingers were twisted and weak, but they held on to hers tight. "Do you remember when you drew that picture of me as a superhero?" Maria asked. Lucas nodded. "You were flying with a cape. You know what?" Maria said. "I do not need a cape to be strong. I just need you. You make me strong, Lucas. You are my reason for everything." "You are my reason too, Mama," Lucas said. "You are the best mama in the whole world." They sat together as the sun set, painting the sky in beautiful colors. Lucas tried to draw what he saw, his small hands working carefully with his crayons. Maria watched him and felt peace settle over her like a warm blanket. She no longer cleaned offices at night so her disabled child could dream in the morning. Now they both had time to dream together. They had time to live, to create, to laugh, to simply be. The struggle had been real and hard and almost broke her. But it had also led her to this moment, this peaceful evening with her son, watching the sunset and knowing that everything was going to be okay. And it was. Everything was okay. Not perfect, because life is never perfect. There would still be challenges ahead. Lucas would always have cerebral palsy. He would always need extra help and care. There would be hard days and setbacks. But they would face those days together, with the support of their community behind them. Maria looked at the sky and silently thanked everyone who had helped them. David and Patricia and Mrs. Chen, the office workers who had left notes and gifts, Dr. Palmer who had told her to accept help, Susan at the gallery who had given Lucas opportunities, the families at the community center who supported each other, all the strangers who had bought Lucas's art and shared his story, and she thanked herself too. For working so hard, for never giving up, for loving her son with everything she had, for surviving when survival seemed impossible. The sun disappeared below the horizon, and the first stars appeared in the darkening sky. Lucas pointed up at them. "Look, Mama, the stars are coming out." "Make a wish," Maria said. Lucas closed his eyes tight. I wish that we can be happy like this forever. Maria closed her eyes too. Me too, my love. Me too. When they went inside, Maria helped Lucas get ready for bed. She read him a story about a brave knight and a friendly dragon. Lucas fell asleep halfway through, his face peaceful and calm. Maria finished the story anyway, just in case he could hear her in his dreams. She turned off his light and stood in the doorway for a moment, watching him sleep. This was what she had worked for. This was why she had pushed through the exhaustion and the pain. This child sleeping peacefully, knowing he was loved and safe. That was everything. Maria went to her own room and got ready for bed. She set her alarm for 7 a.m. 7. She would get a full night of sleep. In the morning, she would make a nice breakfast. She would help Lucas get ready at a calm pace. Then she would go to her job at the community center, where she would help families find hope just like she had found hope. Before she turned off her light, Maria looked at the drawing on her wall. It was the one Lucas had drawn of her with angel wings holding a mop and smiling. The one that had sold in Chicago and then the collector had sent back to her as a gift saying, "This belongs with you." Maria smiled at the picture. She was not an angel. She was just a mother doing her best. But maybe that was enough. Maybe love and determination and the willingness to accept help was all you really needed to change your life. She turned off the light and closed her eyes. Tomorrow was a new day, full of possibility and hope, and Maria could not wait to see what it would bring.